back with segment 2 of the Remax Magnolia radio show with Michele Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, you didn't get into municipality by municipality, gave us a whole bunch of information there, but now we get into the nitty-gritty of it.
Nitty-gritty.
What things actually are costing around the valley. So I will turn things back over to you.
Yeah, so let's start with Abbotsford. Detached benchmark prices for September is at $1,190,500, and that is up 4.3% from last year, but down from August by 2%. Townhouses are at $654,600, and that's down 3.5% from last year, but up 0.2% from last month. And then condos and apartments are at $447,200, and that is actually up 0.9% from last year, but down 1.1% from last month. And then Mission, benchmark prices for detached homes at $1,050,800, and that's up 5.1% from last year, but down 0.9% from August. Townhouses are at $673,100, and that is exactly the same as last year, but down 0.1% from last month. And apartments at $457,900, that's down 2.7% from last year and down 0.7% from last month. It's really interesting seeing the down reduced figures in September more than last month, August, because August usually is worst than September. So this is very, very interesting, right? White Rock, South Surrey area for benchmark prices of detached homes at $1,988,100, and that's up 5.1% from last year, but down 0.6% from August. Townhouses at $994,600, that's up 7.6% from last year and up 1.7% from last month. Apartments at $628,600, that's up 7.2% from last year, but down 1.3% from August. Langley, benchmark prices for detached homes there are at $1,636,900, and that is up 5.1% from last year, but down 0.1% from last month. Townhouses at $861,200, down 0.6% from last year, but up 0.6% from last month, funny enough. Apartments there, $606,500, up 1.2% from last year, but down 0.9% from last month. And North Delta is in our ranks here. So detached benchmark prices at $1,391,400. That's up 7.2% from last year, down 1.2% from the month before. Townhouses at $948,600. That is up 6.7% from last year, but down 1.4% from August. And then apartments at $586,500, up 4.2% from last year, but down 4.1% from August. And then Surrey. So combined, the city of Surrey's detached benchmark price at $1,671,900. That's up 4% from last year, but down 0.2% from last month. Townhouses are at $883,500. That's up 6.2% from last year and up 0.2% from August. Apartments at $539,500, and that's up 3.8% from last year, but down 1.6% from last month. And that's your 5 municipalities in the Fraser Valley. And there is another stat here. I know nobody could see it, but please go on the website to have a look at it. Simply Fraser Valley Real Estate Statistics, and you will see that we are still in a balanced market. We went into a balanced market in August. In September, I really thought we would pop back into a seller's market, but we haven't. It is still a balanced market. So you got to be very, very savvy as a seller to price it right and to make sure it shows right. And so prices are about the same as they were in 2022-ish. So they were up and then they came back down and from spring. So one actually finally went up in spring, but came back down in August a bit and again in September overall. But yeah, there you have it. Were you surprised? Curtis?
I'm always a little surprised, especially with the way supply and demand, of course, works and how the prices are holding. I mean, we've talked about this many times over the years. When I was in high school, our consumer ed teacher kept saying over and over, prices are going to have to drop. The baby boomers, the bottom's going to fall out. There's no way prices can continue to climb, and homes are worth probably double or triple what they were when I was in high school, or more, depending where you are. So there's been so many theories over the years.
Yes, and every time we're in a slump or a correction, or some people may consider it a crash or a recession, it's the same old thing. We always feel this way. We have in history, and then it always proves to correct and to go back to the regular rhythms, and that's even a regular rhythm to go into these corrections, recessions, and there's just so many things that play a part of it. But Benjamin Tal he is the CIBC economist, one of the best ones in Canada. Love hearing him speak, and of course we chatted last week about him and how he was at the conference, and he's just so wise, and he really loves what he does. You can tell he doesn't do it it's not just a job for him. He loves it, and everything he's ever said has actually happened, and he's suggesting that the Bank of Canada they will always want to overcorrect, which causes a recession even more so than maybe it needs to be, but they have a mandate and they want to make sure that inflation rates get as low as possible, as we've talked about. But he's saying probably another 0.25 basis points at least before the end of the year that the interest rates will go up, and that always affects all of us in multiple ways. There was an article that there in some areas, or there isn't a bit availability to extend mortgages. Like the States, you can have a mortgage that you get once and you never have to renew it. Your rate is your rate for the 35, 40 years, whatever your amortization period is here, that is your rate, and you don't have to renew it. The only time ever you need to renew it is if you want to remortgage, if you want to take equity out of your home, or, then you redo it. But otherwise, once you get a mortgage, you're good to go. And so there's just so many aspects. There's so many things to consider, and that's not my specialty. Of course, I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm a realtor, but I know how much it affects buying and selling and prices and everything. And I know a lot of people like to sometimes blame the realtors for the market when prices are high, and then of course when they're low. But it's not us that have anything to do with the prices. It's always what the buyers can afford and what the buyers are willing to pay. That's what it comes down to. It's not up to the seller. No way. They can ask whatever they want. It doesn't matter. It's not up to the seller. It's not up to the realtor. It is up to the buyer. What a good realtor can do, though, is be a great negotiator. And that's why I'm a certified, trained to take extra courses. I'm actually certified in negotiations because it is so important. All realtors out there, if you're not certified in negotiation, I suggest get certified and, promote it, because it's really important. It's a huge aspect of what we do. We wear a lot of hats, but one of the major ones besides marketing is negotiating. So anyways, that is my say on that. But I wanted to...
I mean, it is true. You're an amazing negotiator because, for example, I pay you to be part of the show. So I don't know how that happened.
Swift. Let's not talk too much about that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Contest, though. Hey, you were just talking about a contest at the break. Yeah. And we have that contest, Remax, and it's on our social media to click the link there and be part of this contest. We're giving away Netflix for 2 years, Netflix Premium. So it's called Netflix Nights. So it just got even better. If you love watching TV, and who doesn't in the fall and the winter especially, there's some good shows. There's one called The Real Life. And I think I talked about it with you before. Yeah. And it's a realtor. And anyways, it's a good one. And then there's another one about a real estate agent. And all the houses are spooky houses. Like there's it's ghosts.
So there's like paranormal stuff.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And it's a real estate company that specializes in, if your home is haunted, they will come get rid of the ghosts and sell your house for you.
They'll exorcise the demons and the ghosts, and then they will. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's called Surreal real estate?
Surreal real estate. I follow you.
Something like that. Yeah.
Real estate.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the contest. So enter now for your chance to win one of 20 lucky people for 2 years of Netflix Premium. And new listing. I've got a new listing. I wanted to mention real quick. We are not doing any open houses this weekend. Why? Well, because it's a holiday. And, it's a holiday. So take it off. And it's number 11 it's off Morris Valley Road. What it is a beautiful manufactured home that appears to be like a detached home. It's all skirted and beautiful with a huge deck, completely covered, all set perfectly on this beautiful lot in a beautiful gated community called Tapadera Estates out in Harrison Mills, right next to Sandpiper Golf Course, right on the Harrison River. There is a place here you can launch your boat, you can canoe or kayak or paddleboard. If you love ATVing or dirt bike riding, just off the property, you can do that. This is such a beautiful area. It's where eagles soar and just gorgeous. Be at peace and live where you play, I always say. So this place is good for rentals. You're allowed over 30-day rentals. Again, it's gated. This home has a washer and dryer in it, but there is also a washer dryer and a huge facility to use with an indoor pool, a sauna, a hot tub, all of that. And the price is under $300. It's $299,888. So call me today or your agent to get into this. It's a brand new listing, like I said, and it's in really good shape, and the furniture goes with it. So that's that. And then so a quote. Okay, so I have been loving these long autumn walks. I'm trying to get my over 10,000 steps in a day. And as some of you know, I have a place in Vancouver and I have a place in the countryside. And whether I'm in the city or in the country, my favorite place to be is outside enjoying nature. And this quote inspires me. Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature. It will never fail you. And that's from one of my favorite architects of all time, Frank Lloyd Wright.
Very cool.
Where he brought nature in his architectural drawing and designs.
That's true. It's very true. Okay, well, if people want more information about your listings and things like that, where can they go?
RemaxMagnoliaRealty.com.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.